Guys, welcome back to Kolpin Training. I'm Kyle. Today I'm going to show you guys how I managed to build my Titanic triceps, and these are the 3 exercises that I enjoy using most. Hey guys, so first and foremost here, welcome back to Kolpin Training. I'm going to show you the 3 exercises I typically use to build my triceps, which in this cycle right now happens to end on the buck end of my chest day. So first and foremost is a rope cable pushdown, okay? Now for this exercise here, you'll find most people in your gym like to grab down by the barrels. There's really no problem with that. It's just that I do find it's a little harder to engage the tricep appropriately. So if you're looking to get a little bit more out of this, what I suggest you do is grab on top. Reason for this is it's going to force you to really grip the rope tight as opposed to relying on this when the weight gets a little too heavy. So gripping tightly, we're going to depress our shoulders, have our sternum elevated, and our elbows kind of tucked under our rib cage. From this point here, I'm going to flex my biceps. Now I do that because as we flex our bicep, we actually lengthen and stretch the tricep, allowing for more tissue to be engaged when we start that primary motion. So from this point here, with my grip nice and tight, not using my shoulders because I'm keeping them depressed, I'm going to come down with an engagement and I'm going to hold squeezing the tricep, okay? This is going to be our full range of motion. Now that being said, you're not going to really hold and squeeze every single rep. Not really any point to it. What you are going to do, however, is move in a nice, smooth pace that allows you to keep a constant contraction from A point to B point so that you can optimize the amount of tension on the tricep, okay? So we're going through this motion here. We can start to feel a burn, and then we're going to push into that burn, getting basically as many reps as we can for our warm-up sets. Once we've established that warm-up, could take us 2, could take us 3, maybe the weight's going up every single time. We're going to set it to a weight where, you know, we're typically failing in and around the 8 to 15 zone. Personally, I find 15, 16, 17 to be a good range for me. Guys, it's totally up to you. That being said though, we're gripping tight. You can see the engagement coming down. And even though I'm not coming to a full pause, you can still see that the tricep is reaching that maximum contraction, right? So we're here and we're here. What we don't want to do is flare the elbows. Keeping them in tight, down, getting a good squeeze throughout the entire range of motion because our grip remains as tight as it can be. And when we hit that fail point, we can start to pump halves. And when we need a little extra or a little bit of a break, squeeze at the bottom, come back up, and continue this motion until we fail, and then up the weight and repeat the process. This here is exercise 1. I'm going to show you exercise 2. Okay, number 2 on the docket today is going to be a tricep dip, right? Machine dip. So what we're going to do is position ourselves in here. You can face in and you can face out. Some of these things have interchangeable seats, much like this one here. Thank you, Titanic, for that, because it allows us to choose which way we want to go. Also, adjustable handles to come up and out. There are 3 positions to this. Why is that important? Well, this one's going to be for your triceps. And as we go nice and wide, you can actually do this exercise with your elbows pressed out to focus on the decline of your chest. Fun little tip. For the purposes of this video though, we are going to bring it to the inside because I am focusing on my triceps. This pin here, when pulled out, allows us to use one arm at a time, and when put in, functions both handles together. So while we're here, we're going to come into that upward motion, sucking the air into our system and exhaling as we exert force. I'm going to pop my body underneath, and I'm going to use my elbows as the driving force, not my shoulders. So elbows come in, they're tight, we're coming down, and we're hitting a little flexion. You'll notice at the lowest point, my elbow kind of tilts out just a little bit. I do that to amplify the contraction in the tricep. Okay, we're slow here through the concentric, leading with our elbows. We should stretch our triceps, and then we're back down into that contraction point without swinging our back or forcing our shoulders into it too much. Again, half reps okay, full reps best. When you reach that point of failure, you move on from that point much like we did over there. This year, you'll typically see me do 2 to 3 warm-up sets, and then I'll pop in for 2 working sets. Working sets for me are basically sets that push you to that point of failure. So if you're not really giving everything in the tank, it doesn't really count as a working active set. So pop in, give everything you can, half reps, quarter reps, doesn't matter. Keep on pushing until you're blue in the face and you fail out. Moving on to your third exercise. Number 3 on the docket, you'd be surprised, doesn't really require a lot of weight, but allows us to work this inside portion of the tricep here. So we want to get the entirety of the horseshoe so that we really have that 3D effect when we're pulling down and ripping back into our pose. In order to get that, we do need to hit both sides of the tricep head. Now you can do that with an inverted reverse grip skull caver, or you could do it here with the cable. I prefer the cable, allows me to get a good contraction. Doesn't put a lot of stress on my AC joint. So from this point here, I'm gonna be up. Notice the bicep is in flexion again, stretching the tri. Shoulder remains down, and I'm gonna extend, and I'm gonna squeeze. And when I come to extension, I'm really gonna flex the tri. Now, as we start to fail, you'll see me engage and explode. Slow on the way up, engage and explode. And that's a good way to really drive up hypertrophy within the tissue when you're reaching that failing zone, okay? As soon as you start to swing, you know, and you're using your shoulder and your back too much, you know, it's probably time to lower the weight a little bit. That being said, we're down, we're squeezing. We're looking to hit about that 12 to 20 rep range again, really getting a good contraction, squeezing in the tri, and trying to optimize failure in that point. Look, you come in here, you hit those 3 exercises appropriately, hell, 2 exercises appropriately. There's no reason why your tricep shouldn't be absolutely destroyed. If you're coming in here and you're choosing 2, 3, 4 exercises, maybe doing 3, 4, 5 sets, and you're not getting that kind of feeling, like it should really feel like somebody's stabbing daggers into your tricep. If you don't get that with an extreme burn, it's not really the exercise's fault. It's your fault for not changing your mechanics to match with that and elevating your effort to really push yourself. So remember, when you're in here, a lot of that comes down to, are you willing to put boot to ass for what you want, and how hard are you gonna work for it? Always remember that, because there is no exercise in this place that you can choose that won't develop the body that you're looking for, period. You want your triceps to grow, it doesn't really matter what you pick. Just make sure when you pick it, it fits your body's mechanics and it's functionally operable, and that you can thrive within that zone. You've heard us all talk in the bodybuilding world about monotony. Well, monotony is important. It's boring, but it's very important, because we choose exercises that are best for us, and then the goal in that progressive off season is to progress with those so that we've set new heights to them. So when it comes time to diet out, we put on some good mass and tissue in the areas we want to in order to develop our body. Remember, this sport is an art form. It's an art form. It has a certain degree of aggression, but anger is beautiful too. And that's what helps us develop that body, right? So I say to myself, here's my pose. Okay, I need more chest, I need more delts, maybe I need more right side tricep, maybe I need more left side tricep. And I self-evaluate that way based on how I want my body to look in the future. Okay, so when I come here, I pick exercises that are gonna allow me to develop that body. Now, of course, you know, there's other things that go into it. Proper rest, ample calories, lots of fiber, lots of water, lots of fruit, lots of vegetables. You know, keeping gut health healthy, keeping brain health healthy. You know, not over-toxifying the system with too much or the wrong AAS, you know, that aren't supported within our system and have higher risk profiles. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a time to push and a time not to push, but we'll do a video for that as well. But what's most important here is that we remember, we are building our future selves. So the effort will always dictate how we look. So if you're walking around, you're looking at somebody else and saying, damn, I wish I was so-and-so, or I wish I had this and that. You can get those things. I mean, don't get me wrong, genetics play a role, but you can get those things. You just got to be willing to work for them. Thank you. I hope this has been very insightful and that it helps you on your next tricep day. I'm Kyle. This is Kolpin Training. We're here at Pure Muscle and Fitness. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. I'm out.